My name is Emily Shrader. I have been working in partnership with Memorial Park and our sending organization Surge for about 18 years. And most of that time was spent overseas in North Africa. And since then, we've returned to the States, where my husband, David, is an EPC chaplain in the Air Force. And I work in mobilization and renewal for Surge. So basically, I am the recruiter for most of our secure fields, not all of them, but most of them, really in the region of the 1040 window. What that means is that I am in touch and in conversation with our teams on the ground, finding out what their needs are. And then I am fielding prospective recruits. I kind of take them through, I consider it like a shepherding kind of job, take them through the process of learning if, missions is a good fit, if Surge is a good fit, if the region is a good fit, if the team is a good fit, and all that stuff. So that's what I do. Since starting in this position 2.5 years ago, I have talked to over 117 units about going overseas. So I just saw that number yesterday and I was struck by that. That's pretty exciting. Of course, not all of them have gone. And actually a small percentage of that have gone. And I think that's one of my items for prayer, is that it really does seem that the younger generations right now are very risk averse. And so there's a lot in the world is not safe. And so there can be a real desire to go and yet a real fear. And I think it's really hard for them to kind of get over that fear. I had a young woman that I was speaking to who really would be a great fit. And she said, my uncle told me it's not safe. I'll go when it's safe. And I was like, that means you're never going to go. And so I think my prayer request is that people who are considering overseas missionary work would not be praying for a safe place to go, but would be praying for a heart that burns in such a way that they don't have a choice whether or not they can go, that they have to go regardless of the circumstances. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here. So, but I really think it's hard. It's hard right now to recruit people. Our short-term stuff is going really well, though. A lot of people are interested in short-term experiences and opportunities. And so hopefully that will start bearing fruit for longer term missionaries. The other side of my job is working in renewal, and I am a spiritual mentor for our Mentored Sonship program. And I get to mentor mostly all women right now. But I have 2 missionaries that I'm mentoring, one who is with our organization, who's a surgeon in Africa, and then another one who's with a different organization, but she works down in South America. And it is really, plus I'm also mentoring people just here in the States who, like one woman is an executive for for the film industry in New York City, and I'm taking her through sonship. It's amazing. It's so fun. So that's another part of my job, as well as I'm doing some speaking and writing and things like that for the renewal arm of our organization's ministry. Right now, I just got back last night at midnight from Philadelphia. We did our launch week, where we do a retreat for all of our missionaries who are preparing to deploy. There are about 20 missionaries in the home office who are getting ready to go out all over the world. And that was really exciting and good to be with them. And then, what was I? Sorry. David, I want to give you the personal update on the kiddos and David. David is currently deployed. He is in another part of the world until October. And we really covered your prayers. It's worse than I thought it would be. I really miss him. But we're also hanging in there. And pray for him, but even more, I was talking with him this morning briefly, and he said, so many people are just so lost. And it's true that there's no atheist in a foxhole. And so he is really, he's having opportunity upon opportunity to talk with people and encourage people and share the gospel. And he's preaching regularly, and just continue to pray that he will stay encouraged, that he will stay strong, that the enemy will not attack him, so that he can really be just an ambassador for the Lord on this deployment. Miriam is 14 today, and she's doing well. She's finishing up 8th grade. She's running track. She's loving life. And she's pretty good at track. So that's been fun for her. Wesley is getting ready to head out on a short-term mission trip. And thank you for supporting him in that. And I think you guys have also supported May in her short-term trip that's coming up. So Wesley is going to do childcare at Serge's leadership conference in Spain. He's going to go and he's going to work with the TCKs. And actually in the fall, he'll start at App State. And his goal is to study art education so that he can teach missionary kids overseas. So that's kind of fun. I'm excited for him. And then May has been in North Africa. She studied abroad this semester, and she's visited all of the places of her youth and has just really thoroughly enjoyed her time. She's going to be back on Tuesday, and then she kind of turns around and she heads back out to Kenya for an internship this summer with our Kenya team that does sports ministry. So she's going to be doing soccer all summer long with a bunch of Kenyan kids, and I'm sure she's just going to have a ball. So literally and, metaphorically. Yeah. So all that's good. I think personally for me, it's a little lonely here, especially with David gone. And I think, you can pray for your missionaries who were on the field working in a community and then come back to America, and the community just isn't the same. People are much more busy. It's much more separated. It's much more private. And you're just kind of longing for that life on life community that you were used to overseas. And it's not really the same. So it takes a long time to kind of get used to that. This is the one thing that I've realized. Well, I've realized a lot of things. Goodness gracious, there's so much growing to do, right? But I've realized how much I rely on the wisdom of man. And especially the wisdom of my husband, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. But I feel like the Lord, and I think it's easy to just say this, but I'm one of the reasons why I'm saying it out loud is because I'm I really believe this, Lord, and I really want to see this happen, but I just believe that the Holy Spirit is really the one that we can rely on for wisdom. But it's so much easier to go to people first. It's so much easier to go to them first and then maybe not even make it to the Holy Spirit because we've already gotten or heard what we wanted to hear. And I feel like the Lord has just kind of stripped me down to this place now where I have the opportunity to try to press more into the Holy Spirit. And it's actually a very uncomfortable place to be frank. So just praying that, I can press into that more and grow in my trust. And yeah, so that's a little side note. I don't know.
Well, that's good. I think we can all raise our hand. I think of that too. God first when it comes to healing, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or physical or spiritual, right? All those things. Why don't I go to God first? And why do I look to the outside sources and then finally go, oh yeah, wait, right? Yeah, that's backwards, right? God first in all things. That's a good word.